2 out of their 3 games in the first couple they played, and they just lost both of them pretty badly. So we'll see if Singularity is able to make it happen here. Team Secret, though, just going for the Wombo. They get the Sand King, they got the Chrono, the Faceless Void, and an Ancient Apparition out so far.
I like Singularity banning this Lich. We saw Puppey pick it versus, I think it was versus Crescendo, and that Frost Armor is just super obnoxious when you're trying to siege early. Not many teams really running Lich, but Puppey has been making it work.
A little concerned about Singularity having such like heavy melee stuns, which can be controlled by the Faceless Void. Like Slider and Nyx getting into position.
It looks like a good Sand Cane, good Void game right now. That's for sure.
And if Secret can get some good range damage or a team fight controller,
Razor feels pretty good here. Great against Lone Druid, great against melees.
I was thinking about the Invoker as well. Makes for a very simple setup with the Faceless Void. Troll Warlord is still probably going to be your one position with Void 3. Or you can run Troll mid.
Man, they are going so quick right now with these picks.
Singularity are just going all in on the physical damage. They got Amp, they got, Corrosive Haze. They have Meld. They're going to be able to take Roshan probably easier than any lineup that I've seen so far in the qualifier. Like, they just send the Baron there, they can throw the Corrosive Haze. They don't even have to actually have the Lone Druid there. The Bear can just tank it, and then you can just kill Rosh whenever you want. So, Secret with the Troll, obviously great synergy with the Faceless Void. Also, Ancient Apparition with the Chilling Touch. Or Icy Touch, whatever the heck it's called. What is it called?
I think
Chilling
Touch.
Chilling Touch. I was right the first time.
That's the one that sticks out to me as so interesting, is like, it's obviously you're going to be able to set it up great with the Faceless Void, but it's like, in lane, is that the idea that you can like Burrow Strike into Cold Feet and then you're able to find a kill? It just, I guess it's like the Ice Vortex too for amping up the magical damage, but it just feels like, why would you take that third? Because normally it's, you take it around the Ice Blast. Is there anything that you guys are seeing?
I think AA is really good synergy. They have a lot of magic damage from Sand Cane. The Void Bash is magic damage. So, you know, the Ice Vortex, as you mentioned, is really good to skim. Obviously, Chrono is great setup for the Ice Blast later on. And, you know, I think with the Troll attack speed as well, like you kind of make up for the minus attack speed from Chilling Touch. So I think there's really good synergy throughout this lineup.
And it's a Puppey comfort hero. Like he really loves that on support, so he'll always pick what he likes.
It is a strong pairing for sure.
Yeah.
My question is, what is Secret going to pick for their mid? It is a hard Invoker game. Like, it is a hard Invoker game. Also a very difficult Queen game for the same reasons. Like, Nyx is very good against it. Invoker hates heroes that can get in your face. Slardar does that very well, so does Templar Assassin.
But at the same time, the combination with the Faceless Void, like you just Chrono, you have Cold Feet, you Sunstrike in. They seem to be really simple and easy kills.
No, you're definitely right. It's not that the synergy with his own team is bad. It's that it can be tricky playing it against like a TA mid, for example.
But what else would you get? Like Death Prophet's still in the pool. Should be able to survive, give you that push, and still synergy with the Void Chrono. It won't be as much global like gank power though.
Yeah, I don't mind
give
Death
you a
Prophet.
push.
I just don't know if that's necessarily a mid one hero. You know what I mean? Is it flashy enough for his playstyle?
Yeah. I think Invoker is like on paper probably the most iconic mid one hero left, with the Ember getting banned now.
That and Queen, I think, have fantastic synergy with the Void.
I like the Queen a little better, I think. Invoker feels a bit greedy.
What?
Oh, they throw the curveball, man. So it's a mid one Troll, I guess?
Alright.
Safe lane Void?
Yeah, KheZu Broodmother. Mid one Troll.
Alright.
Oh, they are not good at dealing with Broodmother.
No.
Not in the laning stage, anyway.
The Skyrath mate is going to get shredded.
Yeah, that's a really rough one. If they're able to deal with it, this is the thing. If they can go to lane a couple times and kill the Brood like early with some dust, that's something that their lineup is quite strong at, is being able to like find her quickly and then blow her up, maybe even at level 1. But if they don't do that, it's going to fall apart really quickly.
But the resources you commit to do that's going to create a lot of space for MP to actually build up damage dealing items in a Faceless Void for mid one not to be ganked. And then you've still got the effect that is YapzOr and Puppey. If they wanted to get even more ballsy about this, you could put KheZu on the bottom lane.
Yeah, I think the last pick Brood is definitely strong. This is a very, very good Brood pick. I think that it's going to be super important to just like tri-lane him. Like you need to actually kill the Brood in the first couple of levels to have success.
Is that the odds for this game?
Yeah.
I think that's a little bit one-sided.
I mean, I've said that it's good if Singularity can win it, then they get to TI, but that's like, they are still really underdogs. dogs. Like it's a tough match.
Yeah.
Maybe it was after the Brood pick that those odds came out.
No. Just no.
Well, we'll see what happens, I guess, because a lot of this is going to be dependent on what the Brood can do.
It doesn't. It's really not great synergy with their draft. You know, when you look at like Brood does not fight very well around the Chronosphere. You don't really benefit too much from having the AA on your team.
Realistically, though, when does a Brood ever really synergize with other heroes?
If you're running like a split push lineup, I would say perhaps.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, I agree. You generally pick it just like, oh, let's just fuck the lanes and win the game.
Yeah.
And this does feel like that could be exactly what happens here. I have Lyrical just sprinted for the exits.
He's out of here.
He's like, I am not casting this Broodmother game, so it's just me and you, Andy.
I'm okay with it.
We lost like 90% of our hair.
We can get a little
gained
bit
some manliness.
We can get a little bit more L deep on this now that Toby's not here talking about random stuff.
That was not even the most random stuff that I've heard Toby talk about.
No, that's good. You need some what's the word? Variety.
Toby brings some spice, man, and this might be the first blood already. KheZu getting caught out here. He is now cold-feeded. That long duration disabled, and that's them the quick kill. YapzOr went for the wraparound. Caught them a bit off guard.
Yeah, has the boots first. Maybe was expecting the Brood to be walking to lane to be able to place the webs. And the web is actually middle lane.
Okay.
So it is going to be, okay, just, you know, on paper, Brood versus TA. Brood annihilates this matchup. Like, it is not even in the ballpark of close, ever. So I'm curious as to if Singularity are going to react to this, because I think if you put that TA mid, that TA is just done.
The other cool thing about Brood is, you know, we were talking about, like, oh, TAs feels really strong right now because of Ancients. Brood is great at taking over the enemy jungle, contesting Ancients, you know, blocking the stacks, just being, like, a huge pain in the rear. So if you lose your lane, the Brood takes that early tower, then she prevents you from catching up in the jungle. This game could really be sad for Nisha.
Yeah, he's got his sentry, but so does KheZu. We'll see what happens. It's going to be pretty big, whoever gets the sentry eaten. Okay, he puts us up on the high ground.
KheZu is ready.
He needs to be careful not to eat too many side blades. Like, the more levels KheZu gets, the easier the matchup's going to be, but he's eating a lot of them from Nisha. It's going to take probably level 3 or so.
Oh, they're looking to set this lane up for success, though, as they sweep around. KheZu's there with the dust as well. The hate parade is in town. Of course, it's not a first blood, but still a nice takedown there for Singularity.
Yeah, so still same premise. You know, you want to kill the Brood. You don't want that hero to get ahead in the laning phase. It would, if left alone, would completely just destroy this lane. And it looks like if they might even be going again, honestly, depending on how long it takes for them to wrap around again. It's going to be difficult, though, with KheZu being under the tower.
Yeah, for now, Nisha getting some decent poke harass here. It's still only a level 1 Brood, so waiting for those range creeps to get killed off, and they're going to make gank number 2 happen here momentarily. The dust is cooled down. They're ready to go again. KheZu's still fairly close to the tower, so I think, like you said, not the easiest dive, but they prep with the sentry. KheZu's still holding on to his. Did not see this place from around the trees. So.
His web placement's really good, though. He can actually walk up to the high ground with the web placed the way that it is. And you can see he's hugging the left side. He's expecting that another gank is coming his way.
Yeah, so Secret, they're running the tri-lane. They got that first blood earlier. Still waiting to see if they jump in mid, but they're completely sacking this Slardar. Get his experience, not going to get any farm. At least not for now. Curious to see if Secret make any moves. Seem kind of content to sit up top for now.
I think that in the grand scheme of things, like, their team fight's really good. So if they're just getting some good EXP on their supports, you know, they're getting pulls off. Puppey's got that pulls the large camp in the top lane. Should be plenty. Spider's going for the courier. Oh, it's dead.
Ooh, no items on it.
Very nice web drop, too.
Yeah, so Singularity, a lot of time spent. You know, this is always the danger with the Broodmother, right? Is like, even if you tri-lane her, even if you gank her a lot, you might shut her down for some time, but she generally will catch up as soon as you relieve that pressure. And in this case, KheZu finding his own catch-up potential with that courier snipe.
Yeah, it's good
Well
stuff.
played by him.
Surprising he actually went for the double spiderling instead of double web. And this lane, because you're getting so much EXP, I guess it's more of a moot point, but typically having the multiple webs allows you so much more freedom in where you're moving around the lane.
Well, they want to dive here onto Peytos. He does have quite a few tangos, but the axes are going to clip him. Creeps keep the vision. Secret not really committed to this dive. Looks like he'll be okay for now.
Radiant's middle tower is
Man, they really, really want to kill KheZu. They've just been sitting here for so freaking long.
Is it worth it if you're not killing him, like just so the Brood doesn't get a snowball going?
I don't know.
Because Secret are committing their own tri-lane to shutting down the Slardar right now.
But it's like they're not stopping KheZu from getting fully XP. Like they're not denying the wave or anything. They're just shoving it in. They're trying to kill the wave fast enough to where they can just dive him. Looks like they eventually just abandon the cause. But
now
I
they're going bottom, but there's a ward waiting.
Yeah, there's a ward, and they're not really even getting that much chip damage on the tier 1 mid either.
Tower is under attack.
Musical lanes here. This kind of feels like that old like FY Fenrir like full dual roam, but a lot less kills than what you ideally want.
Yeah, and as soon as KheZu recognizes that the supports have left mid, he just annihilates Nisha in like 2 seconds, forces him back, has to salve up.
Is under attack.
Gets that sentry down. I think it has been scouted here though.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, just inside range, and Nisha would love to kill this thing. He's gonna get it too.
His own sentry is going to be down in 5. He's going to need a replacement from one of the supports. I guess on the bright side, you know, he got to his bottle pretty fast, and now with the double damage in his inventory, he'll be able to push out the wave with relative ease. The big thing here is that their tower is not being pressured. Typically, Brood wants to obviously pressure the tower as much as possible, whereas top lane, Secret, they're going to get the first tier 1 going their way.
Now, Nisha having a rough time of it, but with that DD rune, could mow down these spider lanes if they're not careful. And see how quickly the spider lanes chew through their fraction and make TA a sad panda.
Yeah, it's really rough, especially like, at level 6 if the Brood has a dust. Even 1 point into incapacitating Fight 2 can be fantastic because it's just a little bit of a slow. The miss chance just cripples TA.
So Andy, they lose that early tier 1. Peytos is now farming up the lane. What's next on the agenda for these Secret supports? Do they like go just try to help their other lanes? Do they stick around top, keep the pressure up? What do you want to see out of them?
They could probably kill mid if, you know, YapzOr is in a good position. They may... Oh no, they don't need dust. He doesn't have meld skill.
Looking to fight here as YapzOr gets the burrow strike off, and KheZu is the follow-up coming. The spider lanes march in, and now YapzOr, perhaps a bit out of position, is getting punished, but Nisha is in danger with the Vortex as well as the Cold Feet. He will pump, and KheZu could well be next. Puppey limping back to safety. The Icicle Man stays alive, and with the spawn, spider lanes kill secured. Secret make it 3-2, a 2k gold lead and rising at only 6 minutes.
Totally free farm troll, plus the tower. Support's committing a lot of time to sitting mid, only really getting the 1 kill. KheZu's played it pretty well. The 1 death you can kind of forgive him because it was a wraparound. He was a little bit far into the river. But after that, he's played it about as good as you could expect. Obviously, Nisha is still going to be ahead in terms of CS, getting a couple of broodlings here and there. But as time goes on, Nisha is going to have less and less to do in this middle lane.
Well, the exotic deer could become an endangered species if he sticks around. But so he's a little suspicious. YapzOr not going to find an opening just yet. Just constant rotations from basically all 4 supports in this game. They try to find their opening. Was curious to see what sort of build KheZu goes for early on. Is going to grab the medallion. So I mean, we've seen, you know, a long like evolution in Broodmother builds from the old like Orchid first rushes to the Necro Book build for a while. We've seen more recently like that Desolator, Echo Saber. Do you have a preferred Broodmother build?
I like the Solar Crest build personally, especially if you're mid, because it opens up Roshan. You know how hard it is to fight Roshan when there's a million webs everywhere, and the Brood can just be running around at any point. You have tons of Spiderlings to tank it. You get the minus armor as well. You have a Troll too. So I think that this build is probably for this this draft and what lane he's in is one of the best choices possible.
Yeah, and if, as you are the mid laner, you can really set up that vast network of webs very easily.
Like, look at this.
KheZu just goes deep onto Nisha. Nisha is just going to wreck him. Quick solo kill there.
Yeah, so when I was saying this lane is not close,
that's with them tri-laning.
Yeah,
KheZu.
that's with him getting tri-laned and dying.
Burn Mama cometh. And not to Singularity's liking, it does seem, as the pressure is going to mount. You take this tower down mid, it's going to open up a lot of Roshan control. And meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Chronosphere deployed. They want to lay into the Slardar. Mid one making the early rotation here on the Troll. With the Vlads picked up, gives them that extra bit of pushing power. And I like the way Secret have been mixing things up with these lane adjustments as of late. Big lead now opening up.
Yeah, their laning phase has been phenomenal in this game. They get the tower super early, they make the rotation, they get the kill on the offlaner who TP bottom to try to defend the tower. Gonna get some chip damage here and there. The supports on the side of Singularity just have a really difficult time coping with this kind of movement. Because the Sand King really helps you set up for the kill. His stun is just way better than what an Impale is going to be able to offer at this stage. Especially given the fact that the secondary support offers another stun. You get the Cold Feet, which is another 2-second stun on top of the Sand King.
KheZu going in and they'll find Alicia too. I mean, this is what I was kind of talking about with the Brood was like, you know, you go for these big ancient stacks, Brood is just going to take that part of the map over, and even if she doesn't farm them now, she is going to contest them. I'm
actually surprised that he didn't skill Insatiable Hunger just to be able to kill the ancients. Like, Brood might not kill it fast, but she can definitely kill the stack.
Nisha, he wants to kill the Spiderlings off here. The Burrow comes through. KheZu, not much of a threat without a Spiderling army. He's going to have to slow things down for now. Yap wants to re-engage, but Puppey thinks twice about it. He's going to back off. Yeah, it definitely feels like that is a worthy skill point. Imagine KheZu is going to take it after his, if not at level 10, then
he might get the 25% EXP at 10. It's really solid. I think it's definitely the play. Spiderling damage is alright, but getting the 25% EXP, the rest of Broodmother's talents are actually pretty decent, you know. 20% cooldown reduction or 350 health at level 15. That's really good. So getting to those thresholds a little bit faster is probably what I think he's going to go for here.
Yeah, 8 max web sounds like a great map control talent as well.
Oh, it's insane.
Good luck leaving your base and Brood like, not being on your ass.
It's like that scene from Lord of the Rings where Frodo's like caught in freaking Spiderville. I don't even remember what it was called. It's insane.
Spiderville.
I'm calling it Spiderville.
Yeah, that was the. I'm pretty sure that's the lore approved name, Andy.
Thank you.
Spiderville.
Thank you for having my back.
Thank God Slacks isn't here to flame you.
Oh God.
I don't think anyone would be more triggered than him.
I don't subscribe to Lord of the Rings weekly, okay?
You don't get like the monthly shipments of the tomes of Moria?
God, no. And I probably can't recite the release date of every single Tolkien book ever made.
Well, YapzOr, he doesn't care about any of these things. He just wants a little Scorpion on Cockroach action as he moves on to the Nyx. There's a good Chronosphere from MP. For now, at least, Puppey doesn't have the Ice Blast, but still it seems they don't need it. They just lay into Nisha. They're fighting around the Broodmother's lane. I like this overall play by Secret. Now going to steal some Ancient stacks, deny those to the TA. They've already been contesting this stack over here. They're going to take this tower out mid, and then the way to Roche lies more open. So Secret just, the whole strategy, suddenly it all hinges around the Brood in that mid lane.
Got it. They are getting so much. 8K lead in 11 minutes. That is completely insane. Like, we were praising Alliance in the previous game from playing a very methodical, slow-paced Dota and understanding what their lineup can do. This is like taking it to another level, right? The last pick Brood has just completely dismantled the early game of Singularity.
All right, Ancient time for KheZu, looks like. Does have the Insatiable Hunger, not opting to activate it just yet.
He's got a Soul Ring in 3. Feeling a little bit, I guess, skeptical if he can actually do that on his own.
The other thing that's nice about this for Secret is not only like are they denying the TA, but they're also going to make it very hard for a Slardar lineup, the TA lineup to Roche, which is a huge part of that draft.
They're going to have no map control. Like, the Brood is going to shove in mid so hard and force a lot of the heroes of Singularity to just be in whatever area that KheZu is. Because if they're not, and they try to go for Roshan, they're going to lose towers, they're going to get chip damage on their tier 3s, and then at that point, okay, say theoretically that Singularity do manage to take Roche. It's either off the back of a pick, or if it's not and they try to go for a smoke play, they're going to have to spend all that time with an Aegis just pushing out other lanes again. Like, MP's sitting top, middle lane YapzOr is just farming, trying to get to his blink. KheZu's going to come back in with a Spider Army and just shove it in as hard as he can. And then mid one's bottom. So they're efficiently using all of the lanes.
And these other cores on Secret are so confident. MP just solo pushing this top lane all the way to the tier 2 tower, mid 1, doing the same thing bottom. And Brood, well, occupying the Singularity jungle. Nietzsche, he's like, ooh, I want to go for that just small creep camp, but even that is to be denied. And you can already see the map is feeling very claustrophobic for Singularity.
Look at this efficiency, man. Puppey even goes the Helm of the Dominator route. Gets the...
He loves this item. I saw him go for it on Lich like 2 times already.
Dude, the Ogre Ice Armor is like broken. It's 8 armor. That is so much. 20 or 30% movement speed slow, 20% attack speed slow.
Especially against physical damage, heavy lineups like this one. Great pickup. YapzOr might get caught. No, he's able to burrow to the right, dodging away. The Ice Blast comes through. That's off the mark. A bit of a schizophrenic fight here from Secret, but they'll try to make the most of it as they still lock down Nisha. Full feet, hold him in position. The burrow strike through. Almost able to finish him off. They're even going to rev up the epicenter. That's the hate parade for Nisha in town. And meanwhile, Peytos looks for a solo play of his own. Can he time it just right? He squirms towards the pit. Mid 1. Back, focused, eyes on the prize. Will secure the Roshan. All the while, pressure mounting here is KheZu MP going to land to this tower. So Secret just pressing basically the entire northern half of the map.
There's just a tremendous amount of pressure right now on Singularity. You know, we haven't really talked about the Lone Druid too much. Okay.
And that's the thing is, by the time he's ready to fight, this game might be over, Andy.
Yeah, the pacing of the hero just... It hasn't really been fitting for me, like personally. I know that the hero has its merits, and it's definitely something that Singularity amongst all teams play well around. It's just that last pick Brood, man. It's just destroying them.
Well, Vega Squadron, maybe take a note out of Secret's book, their old favorite hero.
I mean, Mag's probably watching this game and he's
rubbing his hand. Well, yeah, I don't know if he has a chance to watch it right now, actually, but if he does.
The real question is, would Mushi ever let him take that hero mid?
I don't know that Mag ever got to run the mid Brood. He was always just like the straight off lane, right?
Yeah. They did run it Maneski in the qualifiers. They lost that game, I believe. It was the first match they played.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, I don't know that I would want to see Brood every game, but as a nice little flavor pick, I can get down with the mama.
I just like that the current Dota meta is so wide open that you can just do pretty much whatever. As long as you have a good idea, and it's a 4th or a 5th pick, it can always work. And that's the part of the game that is exciting to me.
And that's the thing when you look at this game, like you really have to credit Secret for, is they open the draft looking so just straightforward as this big 5-man team fight, you know, mid to late game lineup, and then out of nowhere, you think the lanes are also set, like you're going to have an offlane Void, like they have a safe lane Troll, it's usually MP who plays that hero. Surely they're going to pick mid 1's hero now, and then it's like, no, we're going to run Broodmother, we're going to put her mid, offensive tri-lane with a Troll AA Sand Cane that is certainly not a lane you expect to see, and everything just got thrown for a loop. They hid the overall final game plan very well.
The funny part about it too is they even took it to the next level. Oh,
nice chrono from MP, catches out 2, and now looking to shatter Singularity. They find the double kill. Force yet the buyback. I mean, Slardar has it too, but he is an impoverished Slardar right now. Only 1,400 gold. He really doesn't want to have to, while KheZu pressing in on this top lane. He grabbed the Ogre Club, grabbed the plate mail, and now is going to be heading straight back for that AC. So
they are losing their 2-2 in the safe lane. Exotic Deer is doing a pretty good amount of work to these towers.
He's almost got Radiance. Could maybe be the seeds of a comeback, but I don't know if he's going to get it in time. Secret are looking to finish off this lane right here, right now. Quick Manta. It just popped. Solutions won't last long, but Radiance has arrived. Will this be the start of the comeback, Andy?
I don't know about that. I mean, this Nyx is level 7 with no arcane boots.
This is when you start farming those spiderlings, though.
God, for his sake, I hope so.
Someone's got to do it. Someone's got to do it with the KheZu infestation. Mid lane being pressured. They have lost their tier 3 there. Meanwhile, up top, good 2-hero burrow by YapzOr. Timely on the Carapace. KheZu tries to retreat, but the spiderlings finish him off. Now MP surging forward. The racks are just crumbling. Secret steamrolling Singularity. Singularity have had a nice little run so far, but Secret are showing they are still top dogs in this qualifier down the stretch as they close in on the game win.
That's a pretty classic Puppey draft if you think about it. Like, historically, he's always been the type of captain who likes to just straight up counterpick stuff. And in this sense, he counterpicked it in like multiple ways. Obviously, the Brood is going to be a great matchup against the TA. But as soon as they saw the Brood, Singularity, like you mentioned, probably had an idea of what the lanes were going to be, and it wasn't Brood mid. They were probably just expecting it to be Troll. And you wouldn't be like considered, you know, a fool or anything for thinking that. It's just that you're not going to send anything that you want to farm against the Brood. So they dodge the lane, and they send their Slardar up there, which guarantees that Secret are going to be able to pull that lane. So they aggro tri-lane with the sole intent of killing the tower and making sure that the supports are also getting EXP in the meantime. So it was like a triple whammy. It's like we counter your mid, we last pick a hero that you have a very hard time dealing with, and we guarantee an early tower because you assume lanes that might not actually be the case.
And then we parlay that into contesting your Ancients, take that tower down mid. This also denies you the Roshan with the Slardar TA draft.
Yeah,
it was several moves that followed up that initial Brood pick, which really solidified the advantage for Secret.
This is just what we would call a very well-played Dota game.
A sad game for Singularity.
Yeah, I mean, they're still doing okay. Not in this game, at least, but, you know, overall in the standings.
In their lives.
Yeah, they're doing all right.
Hey, they're playing TI qualifiers, you know. There are people who would kill for this opportunity.
Yeah.
Nice scan here by the Dire squad, though I don't know they want to fight into Secret under any circumstances. Perhaps if they get the high ground jump. They do have a fresh Slardar Blink. Don't think Secret have scouted this yet, though. Nearly 20 minutes in, you're probably expecting it. See if Singularity can cook something up here in the bottom lane.
There's the Radiant Spare. MP's got his own Blink.
Yeah, looks like he is going to go into the Lincoln Sphere.
Yeah, Lincoln's is just like... In this game, he doesn't really need to be the damage dealer. He's already got the Troll Warlord, he's already got the Epicenter, and the AA ulti as well. Just needs to be able to set up the Chronos.
Oh, they are trying to set up here on MP. This is not the easiest kill, but they're going to start it with a Blink Crush. Ball comes through, Mystic Flare, and kill secured. Well executed. Singularity. Strike Pater, and now looking for more. Nisha moves in, but Puppey gets off the Ice Blast. Going to force him back. Shrines up. Looks to go. YapzOr gets baited in a bit, but reinforcements are streaming in now. KheZu looks to make this his new nest, but doesn't quite have the web array he'd like. And this is the one area, Andy, where the Brood can struggle. If you're kind of reacting to the enemy team's movements, you don't have all those webs set up, you're not nearly as effective. So looks like Secret are going to have to disengage, at least for now.
Yeah, the bright side, though, for KheZu is he can always go back top. They only got the range racks. They didn't get melee. So if he wants to kind of make his home that jungle again, he's very capable of doing that right now.
Well, Secret, great advantage for them. Really strong start, huge lead. They'll be able to close it out cleanly against Singularity. Certainly seems like it's still their game. Slight pulse now on display.
Yeah, the Radiant's being finished up on the Bear. Exotic there hits 15, so now he's got the Spirit Bear damage as well. Wondering if he, after the Vlads, if he goes back for the Aghanims build. I feel like they need to do something a little bit unconventional to kind of bring themselves back into the game. Because in a straight-up fight, Secret have Chrono, Epicenter, AA Blast, and very farmed Troll Warlord. I don't know if they can really win like a brawl, but if they can get some pickoffs and, you know, force Secret to split up.
They want like one of those like scrappy kind of cheeky fights, you know, cut off the waves, bait out the ults, maybe bite back, split push all the while.
Yeah, they're spotting KheZu here.
Sting like a butterfly.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the dream. When you have heroes like Nyx and Skywrath, they excel at getting those quick picks. They are going to be forcing mid one to TP.
Looking for MP here, and again they get the jump on him. MP still does not have that Lincoln Sphere. Deleted.
That's a lot of damage.
Yeah, they've gotten him twice now with basically that same move. Singularity making these ganks really work for them.
Just a bit greedy, sticking around to kill the Ancients when he knows that the troll is left. The thing that Singularity really needs, like obviously getting those picks is great, especially on a core, but their lane equilibrium needs to be dealt with somehow. That's kind of why I was thinking that, you know, Exotic Theater may go for the Aghanims. Looks like at the moment he's opting for the Assault Cuirass build. He's just going to go for the Radiance Burn to push the lane instead of having like the Bear capable of auto-attacking and maybe potentially even threatening a tower. But yeah, the Blink Dagger finished and the Slardar has done quite a bit already.
Enough so that KheZu, not wanting to get chain stunned, is going to snag a BKB. And one of those games where you get this BKB, you might just be able to go hit the racks, commit for it, potentially die, but maybe Secret start resorting to a little bit of rat Dota here. We'll find out. As YapzOr is cutting the wave top. Not clear if they want to fight. They've got the whole squad in the neighborhood, though, and they might make their move, but KheZu in position. He gets the ward down. The Dire gets the scan, so they know the entire Secret squad is in the neighborhood. Looking pretty just intelligent about detecting Secret's movements, anticipating them, cutting them off, finding these ambush opportunities. They need a little bit more of this to get back in the game, but what was once like an 18k gold lead down to 14k or so.
Yeah, they're chipping it away. The one thing that Singularity need to be very cognizant of is that Roshan's going to be up soon, and fighting Roshan straight up is going to be super hard for them. So if Secret get this Aegis, you know, it's obviously going to be cheese on top of that. It could be hard for them to stop that impending push after.
That's the dream for Secret, is grab an Aegis and go take at least one, if not two lanes of racks. Then they have the type of lineup that can kill them off quickly. First they'll need a pick here, though, as mid one takes a whack at the shrine. Not going to find that Slardar as he TPs away, but we'll find the shrine. So that's going to drop. Map control slipping away here a bit for Singularity.
They need to get these lanes out. Like, they're very split up at the moment. It's going to be difficult for them to fight into Rosh like this. They have no shrine. They need someone to be sitting in the lanes, like, pushing hard, because Secret are almost certainly going to be going for that Roshan.
And here we go. KheZu getting in there with mid one. Puppey still lugging the Soaker Frost Mage around the map. Definitely value against the TA.
Man, there are just spiders everywhere on the map. Like, KheZu is actually like marine splitting his spiders and just putting them out so that they spot like movement.
Roche low, Roche dead, and the Aegis claimed by mid one at the worst possible time. Nisha blinks in, looking for the steal. He's not going to get it. Secret get the free TA kill. A nice donation to their coffers, and now they chase for more. KheZu not going to be able to lock them down, but he will just start pushing in these lanes. Top lane being dealt with by mid one. Aegis and cheese in the backpack for him. So Secret looking for that high ground siege. The problem for Singularity is they're probably going to have to buy back here on TA, and they did not force out any big ultimate, so they fight into the full complement for this upcoming push.
Not an ideal spot, but I think if he was able to get the Aegis, it would have been a really good play. So I think maybe worth the risk in this scenario. Oh god, nice player.
Oh, KheZu looking for that backstab, but Secret were ready. They pick him off, and now they've already started to work on this melee top. Now backing off, rotating onto mid. Range Raxes are the low-hanging fruit if Secret want to claim it. The Spider Lanes do the work. Bear's there to scare them away. Exotic Deer hanging on, but Secret starting to press, starting to force. Bit by bit, inch by inch, chipping away. Just one more hit, down goes the range now. Looking for the melee as well, but the crush is there. They lock down MP. This time, though, he's got the cheese. The Ice Blast comes through, connects on two. Nisha now in all kinds of trouble with the Epicenter revved up, now chewing through him. TA down. Double buyback might have to be a triple if they want to hold. There is still a Chrono ready. Singularity are on the ropes. The Chrono comes through, connects on two. TA buyback instantly. Trying to tap that shrine, hang on, stay alive for now. They lock down the Void. Can they finish him off in time? Cheese is up, but gets shredded by Nisha. Will not have buyback. They have claimed the melee in the mid lane. Not up top, though. Not the worst defense by Singularity, but really not quite good enough yet. With all these buybacks, they need to chase for more, and in doing so, they are likely to give up some additional kills. Peytos with the dieback. Nisha not dishing out too much damage here, and now has to turn tail, has to run. Mid one losing Aegis, but they lock onto that TA. The Burrow comes through, the Bulb's there with the Ice Blast. In position, mid one charges forward, Troll mows him down, looks for more, gets the slow, gets those axes, chewing through the Scarlet Mage, will finish him off. Alicia down for a long time. 3 heroes down for 30+ seconds each at least. An Exotic Deer now his bear. Basically the lone bastion of defense. Secret about to close Singularity out from the looks of things.
It was just too much. Like, I think Singularity did a really good job at kind of defending, but they weren't really able to establish map control at any given point in the game. Like, killing KheZu the first time was great. After that, KheZu just played a very defensive style in middle lane until he realized that, you know, Alicia and KheZu were both like done committing all that time to him. And then he just did his thing. You know, he won his lane pretty hard. He ended up killing the TA a handful of times with the help of Puppey and YapzOr on top of that. And they just never really let go of the advantage.
Yeah, I think you pointed out some good details earlier. Like, it's kind of a difficult TA matchup already, but KheZu putting the webs in position so he could run up the hill, scouting with the spider lanes to try and detect those supports in the area, and then also the team helping him with wards bottom so they could see when the supports weren't on the lane, and then he immediately took advantage of it. So, yeah, it's like not a good matchup at all for TA 1v1, but KheZu did those little extra things that make it even a decent matchup 1v3 is Secret. Try to close this one out. They find a nice kill first on Exotic Deer, then on to Peytos. It's checkmate. Singularity will back down. They call the GG. The Chronosphere puts a nice little cherry on top. And Singularity had a good run here. Definitely still in the mid, like in the search for potentially taking the group and certainly going to the playoffs. But Secret just a bit too much for them in this game with that fifth pick.
Yeah, that was a stroke of genius. I don't think I've seen KheZu play that much Brood. I know he plays like the Bristlebacks. He plays the Omni Knights. You know, anything really in the offlane.